Hello, everybody. Good morning from a beautiful Saturday morning here in Bali. It's not too hot today, which is what I'm thankful for, doing this live stream for you today, so that I'm not sweating bullets while I'm doing this, which is always nice for me. Whenever, I have nowadays, I have my office in an outdoor balcony because I just need a lot more fresh air and a lot more nature these days. So, this is sort of what you'll see. Maybe you'll see some changing sunlight as the day goes by. Welcome to this week's webinar training as part of the Prepare for a New Future of Work series that I've been running for 4 weeks now to help people navigate change and go through the transition to really prepare for a new future of work. Because as we all know, we are living in unprecedented times, and it takes a time for us to be creative and innovative in the way that we deal with this change, and also come out of this learning some new skills and hopefully giving ourselves, some fresh opportunities to think about as we are all making these changes in our work lives at the moment. So I can't wait to start today's webinar on everything to do with how to learn, right? How to adapt your work for an online world. And so if you're here joining me live or even on the replay right now, come say hi to me in the comments box just by typing below. Say hi, tell me who you are, where you're tuning in from today. And what do you do? Are you currently an employee looking to make a transition to self-employment? Or maybe you're a business owner that's making to make some changes and pivot creatively in your business right now to serve the needs of the marketplace. So for all of you that may not know me, and hopefully you do if you're on this page, my name is Lydia Lee. I'm the founder of Screw the Cubicle. I'm also a work reinvention strategist and a small business coach. So I help solopreneurs, consultants, freelancers, and small business owners to reinvent their work, to lead from what I call your genius zones and really build a meaningful business that you can love. So I also love creating the space for you to take a necessary pause to explore what's next in your new chapter of your life and your work. So a lot of what we are obviously doing right now with this webinar series is to ensure that you are moving on to your next chapter of your work life, feeling good, feeling prepared, and upskilling yourself to be ready, right, for the marketplace. Now, I want to ask you today, what is your biggest question right now about adapting your work, whatever that may be, to an online world or an online version of really offering your work, your services, your talents, and your gifts in this sort of new place where we're now communicating and connecting in such a virtual setting. And I know some people can feel very daunted when they think about using new technology, but also hopefully with this webinar, you're going to know that it is a learnable skill and that things may not actually have to be so complicated if we were to simplify our approach to this. So that is one of the biggest values that I hold true to the way that I teach and I coach, is to always offer something that is doable, that is not complicated, and simplified, right? So that's what you can absolutely be expecting when you're learning from me. Now, as part of this webinar series, if you don't know, this is part 4, really, week 4 of the Prepare for the New Future of Work series, which, as I mentioned, is my way of contributing and supporting you in navigating this change in the world that we're currently experiencing. So you may have missed some of the webinars that we ran in the past, which has been really helpful to a lot of people in this transition. So you can go to screwthecubicle.com/webinars to actually catch the replays of past webinars that we ran. We talked about remote tools to really gain a sense of productivity and ease with working from home. I've ran a webinar called Financial Stability for Business Owners to help people to really pivot easily and ask better questions about what changes are most essential to do in your business during this time of change. And then last week, we ran a webinar all about how to use your time at home to start a service-based business. And that webinar was very popular for people that have been thinking about alternative ways, right, to be able to utilize their skills and build their own stability no matter what may be changing in the world, and using this time that you're already at home, right, having a little bit more spaciousness to do that, is to now, reimagine what it would be like and what you could be doing if you were to be self-employed and independent. So that is a really great one to watch a replay for as well. All right, so what we're going to be covering today really is some really easy ways to look at how you can adapt your skills online and not to feel afraid of this change, and know that there are tools and resources available for you. And hopefully this is one of the resources that you're here to do at the moment as well. So what I'm going to be covering today is some tips to find clients with human first strategy. So this is a big, when I asked a question with my community, what's your obstacle right now, in going from maybe a brick and mortar style of a business, or even someone that might be a consultant or a freelancer that used to attend events, right, or meetups or live ways, right, to find clients. How do we now do this with what we've got? I'm also going to cover how to pivot your work to virtual offerings without losing the value of what you do, and instead be able to use some innovative tools that are right at your fingertips, right, to be able to continue to do what you do and continue to earn a living and continue to offer your skill sets into the world. I'll also be covering advice on how to sell online without feeling sleazy, without sacrificing your integrity, right? And how to actually build better relationships right now, which might be actually the thing that you've been waiting to do. And that is going to be a really important piece of finding clients and keeping your work stable. And then we're going to go into how to position your expertise so that your ideal clients can find you. And if you don't have a website, if you don't have any social channels right now, that is totally okay. And I'm going to be talking a lot about what you can do with what you've got, what you've already built in social equity and networks and communities, which is where we want to start. And you're going to find it, these concepts will be applicable to all of you that might have a website or social channels right now, and also for people that don't have that, and not to be afraid of continuing, right, to get out there and make sure that people know what you do, how you do it, and how to find you, right, in that niche that you are looking to do work in. So to me, it's been extremely exciting to see people being really creative right now in this time, and learning how to adapt to continue to offer valuable services right now. Like, I was just looking at, my own Facebook personal profile of like some of my old colleagues and, fellow business owners and people that I know, in my personal life, that are now like trying new things, because they've got the time to do that, and they're really motivated to solve problems in the world, which is so needed right now. People still need services, people still need support, and it's all about sort of making sure that you can answer the call, right, to what's going on in the world right now. And some creative ideas are absolutely coming, to the forefront. I've been seeing people like teaching other parents how to homeschool, because it's such a new territory to us now, right? I know moms that have done such a great job raising their babies, and giving tips about that as their own friends are doing so right now, right? I'm seeing people really helping others with emotional resilience during this time, right? Helping people with financial accountability, because people are really afraid of money and their own security right now, and even creative things like, helping people cook from home, and learning how to batch cook, learning how to cook creatively without many ingredients, or how to cook healthy meals without spending oodles of hours, wasting your time in the kitchen, and be able to spend time with your kids. There are so many innovative ideas that are going on right now, and that's what makes me excited about this new world of work, is that there's all these people who never thought they could be business owners are getting out there and doing something really creative with their time. So all of this is really I think there is a silver lining in the crisis that, I don't want to obviously minimize some of the heartaches and difficult times all of us are experiencing going through this change. But I also want to, put our attention to what could be a silver lining if we choose to see it as a way to be motivated right now to learn new skills, right? A lot of times, when I work with clients building a new business, they're motivated by being laid off, right? They're motivated by something that's happened to their health, and now they're like, I really don't want to, work like this anymore. I want to have more autonomy over my time and the way that I want to work. And there's a motivation that people, that comes with people when they first come to speak to me, right, about coaching together. And then you guys, right, if you guys have not had that moment of, epiphany, right, that this is the time to do something different with your careers, we're all collectively motivated right now to do things differently because we have to. And because we have to adapt to this new world in order to not only survive, but thrive at the end of this, right? So the great thing about this is that the tools and technology that you may be learning, right, to help support your work to be delivered in a different way are already available right now in the marketplace. I'm going to teach you some of these today, but know that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are some amazing tools that you can use right now that can actually make sure that your work is done still in a valuable way and that people can still utilize your services without needing to learn any complicated ways to do it. And then we have spaciousness, right? Now that we're kind of on lockdown and quarantined in our homes, right? After you've obviously learned how to deal with having children and family in close quarters, we may be finding a new spaciousness to be creative and explore new ideas that we may have never explored before. But now that we're a little bit more motivated to do so, right? As the world is changing for us as well. So some of you might be thinking about pivoting your work. If you have been a consultant, a freelancer, or someone that's been working independently, you might be thinking about pivoting your work to really serve problems that are necessary. And by the way, I ran an entire webinar on pivots and financial stability for business owners on a different webinar where I go through really powerful questions to connect with right now about your business. Like, take that pause before you make any rash decisions that can actually be more simplified ways to move forward, and it may not actually be as complicated as you think. That is going to be the webinar I ran about 2 weeks ago. You can again go to that webinar and watch the replay at screwthecubicle.com/webinars, and you'll be able to register for that replay. But I want to focus today on sort of translating your ideas for work into a different format, right? It could be an idea that you've been running for a while and now you're looking to shift how you deliver it. It could be a fresh idea that you have discovered from doing, being in the world right now in the 6, 7, 8 weeks we've been quarantined, and finding new problems to solve, right? And thinking, well, how could I do that? Right, with a way of not being right in front of my customers right now, and how do I offer that in a virtual setting? So I just want to share a couple of tools that has been really helpful to clients of mine who have had to pivot the way to deliver their work, and they're very simple stuff that we're going to go through. And I use these tools religiously every week in my business. Like, things hasn't changed for me very much in terms of business because I've been very remote and location independent for 7 years now. But it helps me to remember that these tools are really part of my toolkit, as part of how I run my business and how I'm able to continue to offer great services and do this, right, from wherever I am in the world. And I think these could be some useful tools to keep in your back pocket as you think about how you offer your services, how you deliver your gifts, and how you continue to work with clients on a virtual setting. Now, one of them you might have heard me mention many times because I love them so much, and that is the tool of Loom. Now, Loom is a video recorder and it's also a screen share recorder that is that you can have as a plugin to your Gmail account, right? So all of us a lot of times have a Gmail account to use as email, and it's been such a saving grace for me as a tool to use because it allows me to in real time give feedback to clients, run clients down through a proposal, for example, right, or be able to just check in with clients right now, in whatever they're doing, or even to connect and sell with clients virtually, right, without being on the phone with them even. And what's great with Loom is that right now they're offering, I believe, for a limited time, I'm sure, this tool to be trialed and used for free. So you can kind of get a hold of what you can do with it. And a couple things that I've been using it for, so you've been thinking about, connecting with clients, doing the jobs that you know how to do. This is a good example of, like, I do a lot of Loom videos to new customers, people that are inquiring about my services. I answer questions from coaching clients. So as you can see from the screenshot here, is me on video fully, right? And that video gets embedded on their email. So immediately when they get my email, they see me as a GIF waving to them, right? And they click on it and they can play that video, and it's almost like I'm in the same room with them, right? And that, again, is so important for us as we are in remote work right now, to maintain the sense of relationship, to maintain the sense of connection, and not just rely on emails and text messages and WhatsApp messages to communicate. Let's actually let our clients hear our voice, let our clients see our faces. That's going to help build that relationship with you, and even if later on we can see each other again, you can continue to really have to continue to be virtual with them if you wanted to. Amanda said that it's so cool, going to try Loom ASAP. Yes, Amanda, totally. It is such an awesome tool to use. I even do it sometimes when I'm doing a training. I'm like, okay, I want to record something specific, right, that I don't want to live stream, but I want a place to host that video for a rundown that I do about my day planning or something like that. And then I can send everybody on my social channels, on my email list, to watch that video right on Loom, which is such an awesome way to not have to fumble around uploading a video to YouTube and things like that. Now, if you're not a video girl or boy, you can use Loom as a screencast recording. Now, this is an example of me giving a client of mine, Catalina, what to do on an upcoming YouTube content plan for her, right? So I go through, right, and I give her that suggestions via audio. You can see me as a little what do you call that? Gravitas profile, right? Like a picture of me on the side there. And then and then she just sees the screen recording, and I don't have to put my face on camera. And so you don't have to always just put your face on camera. There's days that I'm like, you know what? I don't want to, I just finished yoga class and I want to still give feedback and advice to my clients, and I might just go on a screen recording, right? It's a great little tool to use however way you want to use it. Amanda says, it sounds like it can really save time regarding running discovery calls, or great client warming option. Oh, yes, Amanda, totally a great idea to use it for a client warming. So one of the things I do whenever there's a new client that books a program with me, I send them a Loom to welcome them to the relationship, to tell them how excited, to celebrate our, journey we're about to take on together, and then walk them through what to expect from the calls that we're about to do in the next few months, and what to get ready. And people really enjoy that. People really appreciate that they don't have to read through a 2-page long email, and you're there right by them, telling them what the next steps are. They're excellent tool for freelancers, designers, right? Anybody who is a web designer, copywriter, whoever you are that might be needing to walk your clients through a draft, right? Excellent tool to use without needing to be right next to them to be able to do this. Okay, hope you guys check out that tool. It's been an amazing addition to my repertoire. Now, what you might also be thinking about as you adapt your work is potentially things like teaching classes, right? Teaching one-to-many. Maybe you used to run workshops, right? You used to run events. You used to be able to host mastermind groups, right? In person, right? Or retreats in person. But we can absolutely still do classes. We can absolutely still engage with people and have them come in to learn with us, to collaborate with other people, right? To go on a journey with a bunch of students to learn things that you know how to teach, and you can do that virtually. Now, of course, one of the tools I've mentioned previously is Zoom, to be able to do this. Zoom, you've heard it now. Everyone's using Zoom. My mother's even using Zoom right now. I don't know how the hell she found out about it, but she's all about it now. She won't even do calls with me on Skype. She's like, we're doing Zoom. Zoom is where it's at right now, Lydia. And so everyone is kind of, adapting to these new tools and having fun doing it. Now, Zoom is a great way to do it because you do have to buy a plan to run it more than 40 minutes for more than one person. But any face-to-face meeting, so if you're just meeting with one client, you want to record the call, you want to screen share, you want to have a place that's private to be able to have a private session with a client, whether you're a consultant, you're an advisor, you're a therapist, you're a nutritionist, coach, whatever you are. Zoom does have a free plan. Zoom does have a free plan for face-to-face meetings, and you can record and do all the things and not have to pay for the account. But the minute you start to run classes is when you can pay, and it's about I think $12 or $14 a month to be able to afford that, and that could be a small price to pay to be able to continue to run classes, to continue to teach, and this is such a great way for teachers right now to be able to do that. Another tool you could use that's completely free is Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts will allow you, if you don't want to use Zoom and pay that $12 a month, $14 a month fee, Google Hangouts is an excellent tool. They've updated it since I've used it years ago. And you can absolutely be inviting people to a Google Hangout and running those classes and recording it and making sure that people are there live interacting with you, right? A little bit different than a webinar or a live stream, right? Where people can just only chat with you in a chat box. Google Hangouts is very collaborative. You can bring people in, you can talk to them, you can do a hot seat. I love doing hot seats in my masterminds. And it's a great way to continue to teach, right? Without leaving your living room. And so these tools are, again, available to you, right? Right now. Now, another way to really keep engaging your clients, so this is another question I always get from people that are, transferring their work to the online world is, well, how do I kind of, continue to show my proposals or show my work, right? Make those offerings happen and market myself without always just relying on my website or an online world, and hopefully someone out there will find me. What we're doing right now, a live stream, right? All of us have Facebook, all of us have maybe an Instagram channel, YouTube channel, maybe you might need to create a Facebook page for your business, but even just your personal Facebook. If you're watching this right now, you've got a Facebook page, right? Because you're on here in this platform listening to me running my live stream here, teaching you what I know on a weekly basis, right? To help you through this. You can absolutely start to showcase what you do through channels you are already or platforms that you're really familiar with. Now, one of the examples that I've been wanting to share with you right now is two clients of mine, Rosemary and Claire, who run actually, travel tourism products. And they actually make money from organizing trips abroad, which obviously we can no longer do right now, right? So how the hell do they keep bringing that experience to people, right? And what they do is authentic culinary cookings, right? Those sorts of travel trips. So Claire and Rosemary when we spoke together, we said, why don't we bring the world to their living room? Why don't we help people experience culture and cuisines and food without leaving their living room? And so this is a live stream they ran last week, making tlayudas, which is basically a traditional pizza from Oaxaca, Mexico, where my boyfriend and I also spent 2 months in last year. Love the food, best food ever in Mexico. And they ran a live stream, just like I'm doing today, on making Oaxacan style pizza, tlayudas, in your living room, as a way to just keep engaging with their clients, teaching them something. Hey, you can't go out to Mexico, bring Mexico to you. We'll teach you a really easy recipe to do right now. And that's a really great way to engage your audience and potentially in the future be able to offer them something different. Maybe it's a recipe book now, right? Maybe it's, how to bring the culinary delights to your living room now that you can't travel. And that could be a potential offer, right, for a lot of people. So I love the way Claire and Rosemary pivoted here to not stop, right? Like bringing people to these awesome foreign places, but to bring those amazing tastes and sights to their audience. So you can use Facebook Live, obviously, what I'm doing right now to broadcast this to you, right? Facebook Live is an excellent way, and video has such great engagement on social media. People actually watch it, they get to hear you, they get to see you. And so if you're a consultant, you're an advisor, or any other service-based sort of background that you have, teach your concepts. Help your clients through a live. No editing necessary. People love the raw and real, right? You got your kids running back in the background. That's fine. That's what's happening to everyone else anyway, right? And so showing yourself, showing your potential, showing your capabilities, all that would be a really great way to, again, adapt your work and be able to invite clients to share your work with you. Now, YouTube Live is another platform that you can broadcast live. That's also an excellent video platform to be able to do live streams in. So choose a platform that works for you. If you're on Facebook a lot, maybe you start with Facebook live streams. If you're on YouTube a lot, you might start on YouTube Live and make sure to trial and error what really works for you. And I think that can be, again, a great creative way for you to start looking at what tools can be a support system for you to continuously be on top of mind for your customers, for the people that you might not even know could be customers, right, on your Facebook pages, and just have some fun delivering your expertise, right, and on a virtual setting. All right, I want to move into finding clients because we've been talking about clients, we've been talking about how to kind of showcase yourself, where you might pivot your work and tools that you might be using to do that. Finding clients, really big question I get a lot for people that are not used to the online world. They think that they have to have a website to begin to get clients online, but that may not always be the case. And the honest truth is, when I work with a new client that has never been in the online world, right, all they know is that I've got a gift to share, I've got a skill to share, and I want to do that as quickly as possible. And maybe I may not even need a website. So when I think about a lot of my consulting clients, for example, people that don't need a huge amount of clients, right? People that need long-term clients, they might be working with organizations, businesses, right? Not only individuals, and they're dealing with long-term contracts to be able to earn an income. You may not need hundreds and thousands of clients. You might need actually 4 or 5 clients that you work with consistently in order to make a living, right? A good living for yourself. So when I think about a lot of the clients that I've worked with, I would say 80% of my clients find their first few clients, if not their forever clients, from actually tapping into what I call your low-hanging fruit, or what my friend and my coach Pam Slim calls your existing watering holes. What wells are you drinking from, right? What are low-hanging fruits and watering holes? Well, these are the networks, the communities, the people, right? And your contacts that you've already built social equity with. A lot of us, when we think about an online business, we go straight to needing online stuff, right? SEO, website, social channels, in order to feel, okay, now I'm open for business. I can start getting clients. But the untapped market is really the people that you know, the people that are very likely going to hire you because you have something they want solved, right? Or you can solve a problem that they're urgently needing to solve. But also these people are much warmer leads that you may not be thinking about because you're always thinking about cold leads and online people that may or may not find you depending on the algorithm of the online world. So thinking about my own story 7 years ago when I started my first business, which was a consulting business, it wasn't Screw the Cubicle, it was a consulting business in my old industry. I got my first few clients from tapping into the clients that I used to work with, the organizations I used to meet at events and conferences, right? All these people know me. They know my capability. I even had an old boss hire me for work, right? As long as I told them what was going on now with my career. So start with what you know. Start with the social equity you've built, and I can guarantee you there's a lot more potential clients there, or people that can introduce you to the right client if you were to start here and look at ways you can create opportunities with what you've got rather than start from scratch and trying to learn the technical bits of being visible online. Now, what's a great way to start seeing where potential clients are, right? And so I talked about human first strategies, right? Human first, biz second. This is always my value too. You want to care about the people that you want to help. You want to genuinely connect with them. And then later on, if they have a problem you can solve, for sure offer your services. But the first point of attack is not to go, hey, I'm open for business and I hope you hire me, right? That's not how humans work. We don't like that sleazy technique. And you're going to feel like shit, doing that anyway. So in a time like this, especially in a crisis, in a pandemic, people are, finding their footing, like in this entire thing, right? Their businesses are pivoting. their work is changing, right? And if you want to be connected to them, check in with them genuinely, have a real conversation with them on a real phone call. Remember those? Remember a phone call where we used to pick up the phone and just call people and genuinely check in on them? This is a great way to do this right now. Now, a lot of my clients have been working with in the start of this pandemic, we're looking for sort of, very complicated strategies to see where they can, get more clients. But I encourage them to actually just check on their existing clients, check on the people that they know have a business that, would be a potential client for them. Check on individuals that are a good fit for their services, but don't make the pitch immediately. Ask them how they're doing, what's going on in their lives, what's most important for them to be dealing with to be dealing with right now and experiencing right now, what's paining them, every day, and what's keeping them up at night. And so having that phone call allows you to get into their world, know what's going on. If you're worried as a consultant or a freelancer or a small business owner whether your clients can keep affording you, well, call them and find out where they're at. Find out what now are the projects that are most important to them. Find out whether or not you may fit in to help them in a different way, in a different approach with the new ideas they have going forward. Now, if a phone call is not available to you, use the tip of the tool that I have already recommended, Loom. Right? Your clients might like to actually see your face and see you on video to say hello to them. I do this a lot with, because sometimes I have, a backlog of clients that I know have worked with me in the past, and I can't do 20 phone calls in a week. And I instead will do some recorded Looms to their email just to check in on them, find out if they're doing all right, and if there's anything I can support them on moving forward in this new reality, right, in the world. And so that has been so good in reconnecting with clients and finding out what's going on in their world. Another tip is to not disregard maybe some platforms you're already a part of. So for example, things like LinkedIn. If you're a professional, very likely you have a LinkedIn account, and I can very guarantee you it's been gathering dust, right? Like I had to also update my LinkedIn profile because I haven't used it for ages. But LinkedIn is such an excellent platform to be connecting to employers, to be connected to remote work opportunities if you're looking for that, to be connected to potential clients that may not have known what you do. And it is a platform that is about career connections and business connections. And so it's a little bit different socially than like a Facebook or Instagram where people are just like showing pictures of what they ate for lunch and what their mom's doing with their dog and all those sort of day-to-day life stuff. Is not the case in LinkedIn. People are there with a focus to make connections, build relationships, and find ways to collaborate and partner, right? And so that is a really great place to beef up your profile. And by the way, I know that LinkedIn will be such a great asset to you these days, is that next week, I'm going to be inviting a client of mine, Marilyn Woe, who has really done an amazing job with her LinkedIn as a freelancer. And she's really just ended up connecting to awesome clients, awesome collaborators and partners that she's never done before until being very focused on this. And she's going to come here live next week to be able to share what she's learned. And we're going to be broadcasting this to you so that if you're thinking about what do I do on my LinkedIn profile? How do I make sure it's ready for people to find me with the work that I'm doing? You don't want to miss that webinar. I'm going to be posting that on my Facebook page to register for that, but you can see it here next week, and we're going to go through that together. So LinkedIn is a profile you might want to think about updating what you're available to do, what are your skill sets, who are you looking for to work with, and make sure that all those keywords and descriptors are on your LinkedIn profile. You could be thinking about your Facebook page that maybe you haven't been managing for a while. It could be even a post on your personal Facebook page to let people know you're ready for hire in these ways. You can help people navigate change in these ways, right? Here's what you know how to do that can really solve a problem right now, right? So whatever channel that is, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube, if you're a video person, YouTube's an excellent way to start building an audience and create a community right now. YouTube was definitely and is still one of my largest platform for new clients to find me because I built my credibility and reputation really easily there because it's live and it's, well, not live, but you can see me, you can hear me, and there's so much more of a better engagement and trust, right? That like and trust is so much more apparent there. And I think that's why it works really well for me there. So whatever your platform is, right, wherever you choose to update your existing profiles or create a community on this platform starting today. So you can start to actually start building the list of an audience. Choose one, okay? Choose one. Don't try to be everywhere because that's going to basically make you want to, throw up and not want to do it. Choose one that you know is going to leverage your strengths, as in is your personality type, right? Like videos for me, I would rather do this than any other writing blogs and things like that. But if you're a blog writer, right, you might want to start a blog. If you are more of a teaching kind of, skill set, you might want to teach on live streams or run webinars more often to be able to, right, be existing in your customer's mind. Whatever approach that you take, please choose one that you'll actually do, choose one that you will commit to, and be patient with it and be consistent with it. Consistency is one of the biggest things in growing an audience and building that visibility for yourself. Don't give up but choose an approach and a platform that is, going to make you feel good about doing it every single week. Now, as you start to develop ways to be visible, right? Update your LinkedIn profiles, all those things that we talked about. Now you want to think about selling your services. Like, how do we sell our services as we adapt to this new world of work? So as I mentioned, right, the human first, biz second value, I think is really important, especially if you want to be someone that doesn't do this without breaking relationships. You're building healthy relationships and you're building long-term connection with people, right? So again, I want to repeat myself, please connect authentically. Don't bomb somebody on LinkedIn and just say hello when you haven't talked to them for years and just immediately start to tell them how much you're ready for hire. I get that a lot and I always delete those messages because it's not genuine. It's not you trying to, say hello and go, hey, I want to learn more about your business. How can I help you? Right? A great way to be connected to businesses right now is help the businesses that you care about, right? Share their posts. Tell them that they're doing an amazing job in the new stuff they're producing, right? Give them a compliment, help share their work. And that's a really great way to connect authentically. And also be helpful. If you see a business that you can help, if you see a business that you're like, hey, that like what you've been doing, I can really support you in doing even more with that. Like, give your advice for free. Tell them that, hey, I love what you've been doing with, this and that so far. I wonder, would you be interested if I want, I can help you actually do this better. Is that something you're interested in? I'm happy to give you free time, 30 minutes to talk this out, or I've noticed this about your business, and here's a quick tip, right? And being helpful is also a really great way as an introduction to what you do, and you're almost kind of, proving yourself and getting out there and sharing what you know how to do without it to be a sale right away. We also don't want to disregard things like partnerships. Partnerships are really important in the new world of work. We cannot do this alone, okay? We can grow bigger and we can help more people, right, when we collaborate and do this together. I think that is such an important thing to remember, to not be so in a silo working with yourself. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners struggle with that. We think we have to do it alone, but what I found and my clients have found as we also build our businesses through and grow our businesses through this crisis has been actually this magic in collaboration, magic in partnerships to affect more people, help each other, and bring in different perspectives and support an audience in different ways, right? So if you are a business owner right now, think about partners that either you admire and respect, or people you've ever worked with before, or brands that you are kind of business friends with but never approached them with a partnership offer. Think about how you can support other people's audiences. Thinking, I was working with one of my clients who's a psychologist and a therapist, and usually she would take clients from her practice, right? Her office in the city. And now she's been feeling like, okay, maybe other business owners, maybe other industries and niches may actually need my advice around how to deal with emotional resilience and trauma that's happening with a lot of people. And instead of just waiting for clients to find my practice, how do I get myself out there with an existing audience that's there with somebody already? They don't know what I know. They're not a therapist. How do I offer that for leaders in the workplace? How do I offer that for business owners that are going through a hard time right now, juggling all the things, right? Then it's going to open up her network, right? Open up her audience base simply by partnering up, and that's worked out so well for her, and definitely a great approach that you can use right now to be able to, again, grow your audience, grow your reach to impact more people. Okay? And don't forget about invitations. Now, a lot of people start to find these connections, right? They make the conversation starters, they start to develop relationships, and we want to be able to invite people to come and speak to us. Because again, if you're used to kind of a brick and mortar way, right, you're used to people coming to your office or going to see clients, right? Have a system that allows you, your clients to book to see you in an easy way. Now, one of the tools that I use that makes my work really streamlined, right, as I too have had to, in the beginning of time, adapt my work to an online world, working with global clients, is that I set up a tool which is free for one event at a time. It's called Calendly, Calendly, Calendly. And that is where you can actually use that to be connected to your calendar so that you can block off days that you don't want phone calls, right? And you can make sure your calendar is updated to receive new clients calls and, coaching calls or whatever it is that you're booking. And it can have a streamlined way because it's one link. People know exactly where to book. They don't have to check in with you what time you're available or any of that back and forth, which can waste a lot of time. And you can use a tool like that to, again, to streamline your work. In Calendly, you can ask questions. So before someone comes on a discovery call with me, I want to ask what's going on. What can I help with? What's most urgent in their mind? What does the success look like for them if they were to coach with me? And whether or not they're, what's their motivation, right, to look for a coach like me? So all these questions, these prerequisites of how to qualify a client for a discovery call, for example, it can be done through Calendly. And that, again, eliminates the back and forth emails, and it just makes it a nice, polished, professional, streamlined system to find you. Okay, so Calendly is one of the tools you can use for that. You can also be using, your a way to showcase your work, right? So if part of your, let's say you have your vocation is a designer, right? You know that a lot of what people have to see before they book a call with you is to see what you've done, right? See testimonials, see your portfolio, see your designs, for example. You might want to invite people by helping people get to your website, right? Or an online portfolio. Sometimes an online portfolio could just actually be your Instagram page, where it's such a great visual way, or your Pinterest page to showcase your work, right? It doesn't always have to be a website if you're not techie and you don't want to spend money on a website. Just get on a platform that's free and start to upload your work onto these social platforms, and that could be your online platform to bring your clients to. And then maybe at the profile description, you could say, hey, like the designs, and are you looking for a designer? Like, book a call with me and let me see how I can help, right? And then that's where you put your Calendly link onto your profile, right? Wherever profile you're doing it, just make sure that there is a place that people can find out more about what you do. And so that might be updating your LinkedIn pages, your Facebook pages, or bringing them into a different site like your website or a portfolio page to be able to invite them to see your work, right? So all those sorts of stages of education, stages of show and tell, right? It's really important for us to remember as we learn to sell our services online, is not just to go straight for the jugular and sort of go, I can help you and you should hire me, but actually to start to educate your client about what you do, right? Tell them about the sort of results that you know how to do for people. Show them how you've done it in the past, however you like to do it. But those are the stages of building a relationship that's really important to leading people to even be interested to hire you at all. Okay? So no going straight for the jugular. So as you think about all these different tips and tools that you can use to bring your work online, help to share to the world what you know how to do and get more people contacting you, we want to be consistent in how we establish our expertise online, right? So again, if we're not meeting people in conferences, we're not seeing clients in real life or being able to do those things, we need to start to think about creative ways to get visible online, right? Get visible all the time, as much as you can, at least on a weekly basis, so that you keep that discipline, you keep that practice to learn how to keep doing this online, because you're not going to be meeting people on the street right now, right? So again, picking that one platform, right, whether it's LinkedIn, your Facebook page, maybe even a YouTube channel, whatever it is, think about ways that you can kind of show up on those platforms consistently. And the reason why we're showing up on these platforms consistently is because we know what people are busy. Now, they might see a post last week and forget about it. And if you're not consistently showing something new or sharing something new, it's really hard for people to remember you, even if you are the best kept secret in your industry, right? So think about showcasing your work and picking days and times that you're committed to showing up in those platforms, right? Or even connecting to new people on LinkedIn. Have a scheduled time and day. Now, for me, that is a Friday. A Friday is when I have a little bit less work with clients. I don't take clients on a Friday. And this is when I start to really do a lot of outreach opportunities. You know, I pitch to podcasts, I check my LinkedIn profiles, I go and talk to clients that have been inquiring about my work, but maybe I shoot them a quick video on Loom, right? I do some of these outreach love notes to my clients in order to keep that relationship going. And it's also a time that I plan potential things like live streams that I'm doing on what's going to go on next week and what do I want to share? What have been the questions coming into the pipeline that I think would be really important to share? And think about your topics, think about themes of work that you do. So that you're not going to talk about everything under the moon, right? Think about your genius zone, right? Where do you want to position your genius zone? What are you most want to be known to talk about? What do you want to be known to solve? What do you want to be known in the industry that you're working in? And when you think about these themes and you just want to do more of that as often as possible, keep boundaries, have constraints over what you share and don't share. And then in time, as people start to notice you, as you start to build your audience online, people will start to come to you for something very specific. They'll get to know you as that lady or that man that knows how to do these things. And that's when, if a problem occurs for them and they're urgently needing to solve it, you are going to be on top of mind. So teaching what you know often, that is actually a great sales technique. You don't have to get on a sales call to show what you know. You can absolutely be literally showing what you know. Right? And nowadays, in the time we live in with technology and tools, right? You guys are listening to me, watching me from wherever you are in the world. You can so much have a bigger outreach and have global clients if you wanted it to do, right? Live streams, videos, blogging, posts, all these things done consistently every week is going to start to help you to connect with the right people. And those people are going to remember you when the time comes for them to hire you. Hope this has been helpful to you, you guys. If you're listening here live or on the replay, any questions you have, I will do a Q&A or answer it later if we end the broadcast as well. Like, as I've been talking about this, has anything been coming up for you that you would love to try as you adapt your work to an online world? What tips or what technology tools I've recommended today that really kind of hits a mark for you and you can't wait to try that out? And what may be your own burning question about how you're adapting your current work to an online world? Please share with me into the comments below. Pauline said, so true about sharing what we know. Yes, totally, Pauline. It is something we forget. We think we only show what we know, right? When we get a client in front of us, we don't, but usually clients are passively watching you. You don't see them, you might not hear from them. I have people that hire me like 12 months after they get to know my business, and they've been mute, they've been just watching my videos and things like that. And then all of a sudden, when the time is right, when something has happened in their life and they're ready to use my services, all of a sudden they're like, of course, Lydia, because she's been consistently giving me fresh stuff every week, and now I'm ready, right? And that can be very, very true for your clients. So as a recap, okay, today, hopefully this has been valuable for you, right? We talked about tools to deliver your work online, because we're going to have to learn how to communicate, how to present our ideas, how to teach what we know, okay? Now, I cover a lot of these remote work tools in my first ever webinar training that I ran for the series, for the Prepare for a New Future of Work series. Again, you can go to, let me put that URL on the screen for you. You can go to screwthecubicle.com/webinars to watch those replays. So my first webinar that you'll see there is remote tools to make sure that you're productive and it's easy for you, okay, to be able to run an online office, to have online work presented well and keeping you sane during this time. I cover all of that in my first webinar for remote tools, and you can go to this link to watch it. Okay. And if you're, again, a business owner that's been looking to pivot and make changes right now, make small tweaks that can actually help you to gain momentum or regain momentum for your work. You want to check out the other ones called Financial Stability for Small Business Owners, and also last week's webinar on how to use your time at home to create a service-based business. Very, very popular webinar that I ran that you can watch a replay for. Okay, so really think about how to share your work online, share your big ideas, what platform you're choosing, one, right? Choose one, master one, get consistent with one, discipline yourself with one, and then potentially move on to more if your time allows it. And really think about where your audience is living, right? Like if your audience is more on Facebook, or you think they're more in an educational platform like YouTube, go there, right? Go there and start to just produce and just start to get into that discipline of sharing your work. And that's a really good practice anyway, because it allows you to understand, what do I know? You know, what are these concepts? What are these philosophies? What are these skills that I'm bringing to the table? And part of these weekly, right, show and tells that you'll be having with your online community is going to allow you to practice that, right, in your genius zone. Start curating an online community, whether they're partners, collaborators, clients, audiences, whatever they may be. Start building that somewhere, right? And so that when the time is right for these people, they have you as you have them as a community member to sell your services to, because you've already built that equity, you've built that credibility, you've built that reputation for knowing what you know how to do, and it makes it so much easier, okay, for you to sell your services online. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how I can really support you right now in making these changes during these unprecedented times. And like I said, it is this really magical time for us to, where we have the spaciousness, right? We have a bit of time. No one's rushing to go to work and sitting in commutes, right? We're not having distractions of life getting in the way right now. We are in this kind of some interesting constraints, right, with our time. And maybe this is the time for you to learn some new stuff for yourself, to learn how to be independent, to learn how to be self-employed, or to learn how to do business differently, right? What a great way I've been learning to focus on essentials, focus on what matters instead of trying to do too many things at once and hustling in order to survive, right? We're all learning how to slow the hell down and focus on what really are meaningful for us to spend time on. So one of the things that I've been doing to help people, right, especially if you're in that stage of learning how to be independent, learning how to work for yourself, is the Work Reinvented course that is a really great beginner course, introductory course to help you transition from the corporate world into self-employment, right? This is the course to learn how to create a self-employment plan with the work you can love. And right now, I am doing a really cool thing where I'm supporting you at 80% off the price. It's usually $197, and it's now at $39. Super affordable. You're not having those Starbucks coffees anymore. You can save your dollars, right? And spend it on yourself and invest in yourself to learn how to make this transition. So if you use the coupon code SCREWCOVID, all in big uppercase letters, you can get the course now for $39. So how you can get there is going to screwthecubicle.com/course. Or just go to my website and you'll see the link for course. And you can start to actually get me on a video training. There's 25 videos, small snippet videos that help you to figure out what business you should be starting based on your strengths and your skills. So if you're fuzzy on what business you should start, this is an excellent course to start with. It helps you to make that transition even if you're working full time. Okay, how to pick a niche that's going to be profitable but also purposeful for you. And how to find time in your busy schedule if you're working full time to be able to start that side hustle, start testing and validating your ideas, and set you to a successful transition to working for yourself. And what does that look like in a model of work that you may want to do? And the secondary thing I'm doing is also what I call the quick and dirty sessions. I like the title of that. And the quick and dirty session is really just like a strategy injection to your situation in your business or in your career right now that you're feeling like really stuck and not making decisions very quickly because of the fact that you're overthinking and overcomplicating. I am someone that does really well in removing the noise and removing the obstacles to help you see clearly about what is the right next step for you. So if you're a business owner, that has felt really unfocused right now, this will be a focus session to regain momentum in uncertain times. So we will help you, or I will help you one-to-one in a 60-minute session that will help you to pivot the right things, make the right changes in your business, and focus on one area of your business in the most powerful way that can absolutely give you tremendous traction towards where your business needs to go right now, even in a crisis. So these are 60-minute sessions. You can go to screwthecubicle.com/strategy to be able to find out more about what we do in these sessions. But these are been so helpful for clients that I've started to offer this as part of the COVID support resource. And I have significantly reduced my coaching rates to be able to support more people. It's a one session per person kind of deal, right? So that I can help more people and have my calendar open for that. And that has gone, it's almost half the price of what I usually charge for my coaching sessions in order to help more business owners pivot and make those changes quickly and successfully during this pandemic and this crisis. Now, these sessions can also be used if you're going through a career transition too, right? That is something that I absolutely can help you with is as you are a full-time employee and you're looking at ways to either have a side hustle or plan for being stable in the next few months in case if your work feels like it could be unstable depending on the organization you're in, and you want to start having the autonomy to be like, I don't want to wait for that time to happen. I want to start building something for myself now so that I can keep safe however I need to keep safe down the months when things change. This is also a session for us to be able to brainstorm your plan and what can you do right now in this transition to ensure that you are still financially stable and career stable with yourself, okay? Without relying on your job, without relying on what could be changing in the outside world. So those are the two ways that I can be supporting you right now during the COVID-19 epidemic and crisis. But also really, even if this crisis isn't happening, these might have been the questions that you've been having anyway, right, as an individual. And now might be a great time for you to utilize some of the excellent pricing and, excellent resources that are available to you from me right now. Okay? Thank you guys. I'm so happy to be doing this every week for you. I hope you guys like me doing this in this platform now because it used to be on Zoom and I found that, it's really hard for people to access these videos after without having to sign up all the time. So I want to remove that obstacle and barrier for you, and we're going to be doing more live streams. So as I said, next week I will be having my client and friend Marilyn Woe here, who's a freelancer that's really been using LinkedIn powerfully to connect with new clients, to build new partnerships and collaborators, and get her services and business seen in the LinkedIn platform. And if you're happy to join us, I will be posting a link on how to register for that, but you can actually just see it on my Facebook page next week. But if you go to screwthecubicle.com webinars, you can sign up for a webinar there, and then you'll be part of my list, and I'll send you reminders for next week's webinar. And you can also just sign up for my newsletter. If there's no webinar there that you want to sign up for, you can just sign up for my general newsletter at screwthecubicle.com/newsletter. And then you'll get all my awesome insights I just reserved for my family and my Screw the Cubicle community on my email list. I give videos, emails that are really helpful that aren't available on social media. And you can be a part of my community and get the inside scoop on that. And of course, all the new webinars that are coming out every single week. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for taking your time today. I hope that was valuable to you. And if you're watching the replay, shoot me a comment on the biggest aha moment that you got from this training today, what you're going to utilize going forward, what you will be accountable to help yourself grow as you move forward, as we move forward together. And if you have any questions that I didn't get a chance to answer today or cover today, I will be checking the comments box after this, and I'll make sure to answer this for you and make sure that you are prepared and you have my heart and my brain to support you going forward right now. Thank you everyone for joining me. Have an awesome day, awesome night wherever you are, and I will see you soon again. Goodbye.